Fox News host and Trump's favorite pet, Sean Hannity is trying to get in on the podcast game, like everyone else in 2021. And if you thought he said dumb and crazy shit on television, just wait until you hear what he says when the cameras are off.
I know what it's like to struggle not to be able to come up with the rent money. I know what it's like to struggle to live paycheck to paycheck. I know I've lived that life, and it's not pleasant. And then the idea that somebody's going to come along and take all that stress and all the worry about whether you can afford to send your kids to college, whether you'll have enough money for retirement, whether you're going to have a guaranteed government neighborhood house. I don't know what else they're promising. So the problem with all of this is it destroys human initiative. It destroys it. It also goes contrary to what our entire governmental belief system is, which is based on natural rights from, quote, the thing, God, the creator of everything, and that the belief that I have firmly in my heart that God created every man, woman, and child, and that within each individual there are talents and abilities, and the natural stress, not unnatural stress, that of survival brings out of you a desire and a certain discipline and responsibility that you got to get your ass out of bed and you got to go out and produce goods and services that people want, need, and desire, and you got to work and you got to live within your means. You got to try and save money. All these things come into play.
I hate how people somehow, they just use God to justify horrible things. I'm not an expert on religion, but if using God's name in vain is a sin, then you try using his name to justify keeping people in poverty. That's got to be a one-way ticket to hell, right? And I can't decide who conservatives honestly hate more. Is it poor people or is it minorities? On one hand, if they weren't so racist, they could get a ton of support from, religious African-American and Latino communities. But they just can't help themselves. On the other hand, they're constantly telling poor people who are starving or homeless that they can't help them because, hey, that would make them lazy. Jesus would be oh so proud. Now, usually I don't care about anything that Sean Hannity says, but this is a Republican myth that's existed for a long time, and so I wanted to talk a little bit about it. The idea that, people will become lazy if they get too much money is just ridiculous. It makes no sense. So their plan is they want you to have the fear of starvation or homelessness to keep you motivated. Yeah. It's not hard to see the shit like this and understand where they got the idea for the Hunger Games. And again, that argument makes no logical sense. Yes, some people will work harder. That is true. But the vast majority will not be able to. And that hurts the economy. It's hard to make major purchases like buying a home or, buying a car, getting married, and having kids when you're struggling to stay afloat every month. And all of those things are what actually stimulate the economy. You got to think about all the people who, are working car manufacturing, right? All the people that work to sell cars, okay? All the people who build homes, right? Plumbers who work on the pipes. All the raw material that goes into a home. Same thing with kids. How many, medical bills, obviously, buying more food and just creating essentially another little worker one day. All of those things stimulate the economy, and people can't afford to do that if they can't afford to live or are afraid that they're going to starve. I don't know about you, but if you don't have money to pay your bills or eat, you're probably not out looking to buy a new car, right? And we've been doing this whole trickle-down economy thing for decades now, and it doesn't seem to be working. Maybe, just maybe, we should try a little trickle-up economy. Give that a shot. And on a side note, if there is a Hunger Games that actually happens or goes on in the future, I would love to offer up Sean Hannity as tribute. Hey, what's going on, everyone? Thank you so much for watching Citizen Pete. I really appreciate it. If you haven't already, click that little subscribe button, maybe the like button, and hey, maybe just leave a comment. I want to know what you're thinking. What do you think about all the politics and news and all the stuff that's going on in our country?